What up, T? What we doing today? We are going to clean up my neighbor's headlights on his industrial dump truck. They are really bad, and we're going to try to bring them back to life a little bit and save him a little bit of money. Excuse me. What we're using is my Harbor Freight modified DA with the small 3-inch pad. There'll be a link at the end of the video on how we added that pad on there, or the backing plate to support the pad. We're going to be using a medium finish pad for it, and then a soft applicator pad for the acrylic cover when we are done with that. First step is we're going to hit it with 3000 grit. This is a 3000 grit Trizac 3M. We're going to hit it with 3000 to try to make our life a little easier. And then we're going to hit it with DetailedJuice.com's Infinite Cut, which is a, I would say, a medium abrasive polish. And then we'll do a fine abrasive polish with their Infinite Finish. So this is going to take, this will take the heavy contaminants off and get some of that, it'll leave it a little hazy. This will cut it down and give us that clarity. This will give us a little more clarity. We're using some detail spray as lubricant for the paper, as well as a wipe off in between passes. And first step will be to clean it, and this is just your average all-purpose cleaner. You got an older microfiber towel for the cleaning, a nicer, newer microfiber towel for the wiping. Let's go take a look at these lights real quick. And there it is. As you can see, they're pretty beat up. This is the truck, and he uses this in the quarries for road base and other pickups. So we want to make sure that he can see in those back roads at the end of the shift. So, that being said, let's get set up and let's get going. So this is the easy part. We're simply going to clean it off. Take an all-purpose cleaner. We're going to spray that down real nice. And we're just going to get all the contaminants off of it that we can. Now, normally I would come through here and clay bar this. I know how bad this is, and we're going to put sandpaper to it first. So I'm not going to clay bar that because of that. Now, if we weren't going to use sandpaper, and we were just going to go with the liquid abrasive and the finishing, then we would go ahead and clay bar first and then use that. Since we're going to use the sandpaper, we decided we're not going to do that. Sandpaper is abrasive enough, it's going to take everything off. So let's go get that sandpaper. Alright, so this is a 3M, it's called Trizac. I have it here for some of the body work I've done in the past. It's a 3000 grit sandpaper, it's padded, so you can put a little more pressure on it, and it's a little more forgiving. You can use any type of 3000 grit. This is just what I had on hand. We're going to go ahead and do the clear part first. I'm using a detail spray. This happens to be Adams. You can use soapy water. I'm just going back and forth. I'm going to fold this here. We're going to go back and forth. And just light pressure with the fingertips. You can do circular motions at this point because we're going to clean it up anyways. And if you can catch that on camera, we're taking some of that film off. So you're going to take a layer of this off when you're doing this. So you want to start with the least abrasive possible. Now I know these were bad. That's why I'm hitting it with 3000. Okay, we're going to hit the other side. Get it nice and wet. And do the same thing. Nice and wet, and we'll do the same thing. Then we'll go in with a clean towel, wipe it down, and you can see there'll be light scratch marks. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but there'll be light scratch marks on there from the 3000 grit, which is normal. Alright, next step, we're going to do the heavy cut with a liquid and the more aggressive pad. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so what we got the DA ready to go. Pads on, you can see, 3-inch pad. We're going to be using Infinite Cut from DetailedJuice.com. Again, this is for heavier scratches. So we're going to hit it with that first. We're going to basically start off with a drop. I put a big old drop on there. So we're going to spread this on speed 1. So we're going to tap it. It just helps move the material easy around. And then we're going to crank it up to speed 5. And that's what we're going to hit it at. Here we go. We'll give it a quick wipe down. It's already looking better. We're going to go ahead and give it one more hit and see if we can make it a lot better. Do the same thing. We're gonna do, I'm gonna actually just spray some detail spray on this because there's still some polish on it, so you can see. And we're just gonna hit it with the resin, with the polish that's still on there, and then hit it with new, right after with some new. Alright, I don't know if the camera's picking it up from that distance. We'll come in a little closer in a minute. But just doing it like that actually made quite a difference on the gloss of that orange. So what we're going to do now is, again, we're going to hit it with some polish. I'm going to put some fresh on there. Okay, and this is a small area, so I'm just going to smudge that on there before I go into it. Alright, and you want to make sure that when you're doing this, you're watching your pad, that it's actually spinning. If you press too hard, it's going to stop the pad. It's a DA. The counterweight won't allow it to spin. So you want to make sure the pad's spinning so you're actually making some cut. That side done, at least with the heavy polish. Let's wipe this guy down. You can see it's gotten a lot better. The clarity is much better. I'm going to bring you over here to the other side, which you can see is not nearly as good. So we're going to clean that up last. But there you go. We're going to hit it with a finishing polish, trying to get it a little bit nicer. Okay. So the finishing polish will be next. For this, we're going to use the DetailJuice.com Infinite Finish, which is a finishing polish. So this is gonna just basically remove any haze, super light swirls that are left, anything like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go from the orange pad to the black applicator pad. This is not as hard, not as firm, so it's not really meant to cut very much. We want something a little softer. I'm going to prime the pad. I usually get a squirt of detail spray, kind of get it a little wet there. Remember to shake your polishes if they're liquid polishes. Got 3 dots on there. And that'll do it. We'll jump over to the amber one. Wipe this guy off really good. Do 1 pass on the amber, and this side will be done. Again, it's a smaller area, so I'm just going to smudge it around. I'm not, there's no set way of doing this. I like to go level 1 on large areas to get the spread around a little easier, so I don't smear, throw product everywhere. But when it's a small area, I'll just smudge it on. There we go. Okay, the final step is going to be to coat. Put something on top to protect the headlights so the finish can last as long as possible. What I'm going to use is an acrylic coating from DetailJuice.com. This applies to the microfiber. Very simple to use. Again, it's a little more specialized, but you can also use something like an SiO2 or ceramic spray-on coating. This one happens to be from DPC, Dallas Paint Correction. This has worked great on my paint so far. I'm going to do a review pretty quick on that. But today what I'm going to use is acrylic. This takes a little longer to cure, but I know this truck ain't moving for a little while. So what we're going to do is simply, this comes with a dropper, okay, and we're just going to take that and drop that in that area. This is going to be plenty to use on all the lights. So you apply it nice and smooth, back and forth. Do not go circular, just straight up and down and cross. Same thing on the other side. Again, that little half a dropper is enough to do this area and probably a little bit more. It's nice and smooth. You want to let it cure. This isn't going anywhere. It's not going to rain today. Let it sit. I'm going to do the other side and we'll come back and take a quick look. Alright, tube, we're all done. Total time, if I was putting a clock to it, it was probably about 15-20 minutes per side. As you can see from the previous, if you rewind back, that's a whole lot clearer. It isn't perfect. It isn't brand new. I don't think that's what we were going for. He bought this truck used. This is his side gig. And this is an inexpensive way to bring some life back to your headlights so you can see better, mainly at night, because that's when you use them, right? So I think we did a good job and got a lot of clarity back off that. I'm going to put a picture side by side, before and after. Let's go back inside and go over what we used. Pretty much very simple stuff you can use around the house. Nothing super expensive. Guys, gals, don't be afraid. You can do this on your own. Save yourself some bucks on an older car, on a car that's been driven a lot. My ideal suggestion for protecting the headlights when you're done getting the haze off of them and making them clear again, if you have it in the budget, if it is available to you, is a 3M or Expel clear protective film, like a Clear Bra. They make it for a lot of vehicles pre-cut for the headlights. That would be ideal. You clean them, get the haze off them, make them beautiful again on a newer vehicle. You'll get a lot better results than we did on this truck. and you put that film on it, and you won't have to worry about it for a long time. And when you do, you just take the film off, clean it off, put new film on, because the film got hurt and not the light. All right, that's just a suggestion. Y'all have a great week, have a great weekend, have a great week. I hope this helped a little bit. Simple procedure. Anybody can do it. Don't be afraid to grab a tool, pick it up, and go have some fun and learn. All right, y'all. Again, have a great week, and God bless.